you know, it matters to me how my sons see me. And I was very moved that they did not discriminate or look at me any kind of different way whenever they realized that I was on the streets homeless. I was still pops, you know, still dad. They would actually give me words of encouragement, you know, when they didn't even know I needed it. But that's the reciprocation of the seeds that you plant. You know, so regardless of how I ended up homeless, I ended up there. You know, everybody has a story.
I was in a very domestic situation, so I had to get out of the situation and go to a place where they could not find me. Me and both of my kids experienced it, and it was really hard, and I didn't have anybody to like turn to, no, any family, like I didn't have any resources, so I just went where I could.
I suffered a stroke, and and after I suffered the stroke, I was talking gibberish. Nobody could understand anything I was saying. I had to go through speech therapy 9 months before people could even understand what I was saying. And there's a lot of things I just can't do. If I read, I can't retain. There's other parts of me that are gone, that are just not coming back. So they tested me for disability.
I was harassed out of every dime I had in the bank and made a lot of false promises. And it resulted in allowing myself to be evicted from my home of 14 years.
I worked while I was homeless. I was in school while I was homeless. I actually completed like my bachelor's degree while I was homeless. So I worked first shift and I worked third shift, and I was in school. So I would work, but the money wasn't adding up. I had worked 2 jobs, but the money was not adding up. So
it couldn't pay the lease when they increased the rent, and then ended up, you know, and I didn't know where to go at first, and I was just on the street.
My house was held together with duct tape and prayer. Just sleeping completely out in the open where literally anybody can just walk up to you. It's unnerving, and I'm glad that that's over. I'm very glad that that's not a thing anymore.
On any given night in Dallas and Collin County, 3,700 individuals and families are experiencing homelessness. And we're in a situation where, as housing becomes more and more unaffordable, families are being pushed to the brink of homelessness when a crisis happens.
Y'all have been approved and your unit passed inspection. We can move you in tomorrow. Can y'all be ready tomorrow? Yeah. Okay. An encampment decommissioning is about a 6-phase process that probably has 45 or 50 steps to it. But the goal is to close an encampment site, but do it by housing the people that live there. We are here every single day for probably 3 or 4 hours a day, implementing our process. And the only thing we ask of our neighbors in the encampments is to show up and be present, and we will walk them through every step of the way. So we are really not satisfied with this work until we are handing them over in a warm handoff to a housing case manager. A lease is signed. We get to hand them their keys and say the wonderful words, "Welcome home."
Under One Roof is a nonprofit organization that houses people that are experiencing homelessness. And my job is to perform the initial intakes on each client that is enrolled in our system that comes through us from Housing Forward as a referral to perform their initial intakes regardless to where they are in the city.
Downtown Dallas Incorporated came around and, you know, with the purple shirts that Homeless Services wears, and they're like, you know, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, yeah, you have water bottles, go away. And Shantae, you know, comes out with the word apartments. You know, hey, how would you like to get set up in an apartment? And I'm like, yeah, wait, hang on, that sounds like a real thing you're saying. What? I was like, yeah, no, I would like that. I would like that very much. I was evicted from my home. They just, you know, yeah, they just kept showing up week after week. I'd see them about once every 2 weeks, and it was like, hey, we have another thing for you to do, another step in the process. And every time I'm like, okay, I'm just going to assume until this turns into keys that it never will. And here we are. So I was given keys a little over 2 months ago, and it's just, you know, I have nothing but gratitude.
I think since housing for it has been an option, and we're actually meeting people where they're at, and being that face that they see daily, consistently for 30 to 60 days at a time, I think that it helps grow the relationship, and we kind of help them mold into, you know, a better individual in the process. We actually walk alongside with these people because we want it just as bad as they may want it, and they may not even know it at the time. Once they get there, it's like, I didn't even believe you. I didn't think that you guys were being honest. I didn't think they were really gonna happen. So when I say like it's a real eye opener for individuals when they see that first Texas ID come in, that first Social Security card come in, when they get to see on our laptops the apartments that they can move into, like I really see a change in the morale, the attitudes when we come about.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yes, it is. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting a one-bedroom.
The best part of my job is move-in day. When the clients actually go to the property, we get the key, they turn the door and they walk into their apartment, and then their eyes just light up. And then that's when I tell them, this is just not the end of your journey. We're actually gonna order you furniture as well as a furniture kit from Housing Forward. And that just get all excited, and they're very thankful for the Housing Forward initiative and ordering furniture and just being able to find a place to call home. And I'm very glad to be a part of that initiative as well.
I can't say enough for everything they've done for me. And Ms. Dixon, I could have never asked for another better caseworker than her. And just the way she turned my life around, just by her own attitude. That's all it took. And it really changed everything. But the under one roof is the system that helped me out. So man, thank you guys forever. I'll never be able to thank you anymore, but thank you.
I don't feel like I would be where I am now if I didn't have like people behind me pushing and supporting me, or even like just the agency like providing me with a place to stay, helping me be able to not worry about like, hey, you have to pay this and that, or struggling or stressing about being homeless again. It's like, hey, you're gonna be okay, we're gonna help you. So yeah,
it's difficult to put into words how important it is what they've done here. So
big shout outs and respect to the Stew Pot and Metro Dallas, you know, the people who played their part in helping us get it. Hats off to you, because y'all were more excited of seeing everybody get housed than some of the people who were getting houses. I look to engage into the Stew Pot more, knowing about it and resources and stuff. Got my birth certificate and all that, credentials and stuff together. And you know, now I feel like, okay, moving forward, there's things that I've wanted to do, I can pursue them and do them.
I think that everyone that is experiencing homelessness deserves a second chance and does want to become housed, but they have to be given the proper resources as well as people believing in them.
We're moving them from straight from the streets to homeless, from homelessness to actually being home. So I just felt like that was a game changer, and it's continuing to change to meet people's needs in all different types of variables, all different types of case-by-case needs. So I just hope it just keeps changing and evolving to meet everyone's needs going forward.
the ability to see how far our system has come from when I was an outreach worker 6 years ago, and the massive shifts that we've made together as partners and as a continuum of care on behalf of the All Neighbors Coalition. That little part of my job of getting people to be able to move into their homes is really the main reason to come to work every day.